Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kwakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well and who teach well. Today we're going to get into the topic of the 12 tribes chart. You know, we got a lot of Israelites out here that don't believe in the 12 tribes chart. You got a lot of Israelites that do. We're just going to get into these scriptures and get into these breakdowns. We're going to let the scriptures do the talking. We starting at Genesis 49. We're going to go into it. Get into it. As you see the heading, Israel prophecy concerning his sons. Because our forefather, Israel, Jacob, was about to get old and die. So he called his sons together and told them what will befall them in the last days, as we about to get into it and read. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days, and we in the last days now. As you've been seeing with all the prophecies and coming to pass in the news, you got Esau, Edom out there starting wildfires. They got New York out there looking like New York out there looking bad right now. The air quality all bad. The sky's orange. It's getting bad. The most I've seen the mornings out here, and everybody blind to the everybody act like they blind to the fact that all this stuff going on around the world. You got the Americans finna do away with the dollar bill. There's all type of prophecies coming to pass that let you know that we're in the last days. I'm gonna get back into this. Genesis 49:2. Gather yourselves together and hear ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto my start over. Genesis 49:2. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben. Who is Reuben? Reuben is a Seminole Indians, or known as the Seminole Indians today. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Now, when he say that thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, as we all know, men's prizes is their children, and especially having a son. And we all know the firstborn or whatsoever openeth the womb get the inheritance and belong to the Most High, as we all know. Now, when he says the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power, is because they have they said that because they have a ruling mentality, the way they dress was, you know what I'm saying, they dress very royal. They was wearing mitris, turbans, fringes on their garments, you know, and stuff like that, which the Israelites wore. And they found that all the way on this side of the world. And how would they be able to do that if they weren't the Israelites? Now, in the excellency of power, unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father bed, then defiled thou it. He went up to my couch. Yeah, you can read that in Genesis, the 35th chapter, around the 22nd verse, I believe. And when he said that he's unstable as water, they mean that they're nomadic. They're always on the move. And they was always on the move, mostly due to when they went to war with Esau, Edom, and the Spaniards, when they was coming over here to colonize the land. You know, because the word Seminole means runaway or wild one. And when they said that they would not excel, they couldn't defeat Esau, Edom, because it was prophecy. It was prophecy that Esau would fall. So the Most High was on the Edomite side, as you can say, using them as a staff to judge his people, because we went out, especially the northern kingdom, worshiping all them false gods and idols of the other nations, being like heathens. That's why when you go into the book of Acts, the circumcision always look down upon the uncircumcision, because the circumcision grew up in the customs and needs in the uncircumcision would be the Israelites or Jews who went off, who actually was living like the other nations, called Hellenists, you know, and all type of stuff like that. So you had to so they was looking down upon them like now. Like how people do today. That's why you gotta tell people that all the tribes not black. Everybody not gonna come back like the elder Apostle Gabar said, everybody not gonna come back looking like John Chef. Yeah, everybody ain't gonna come back looking like Bo Jackson and stuff like that. You gonna have people come back looking like, Blake Griffin's son. People having tattoos, dreads, all type of stuff, but we got to bring them out of that darkness and bring them back to the light, like the Apostle Paul was doing on his walk in his ministry. Now we're gonna get into the next one. 5, Simeon and Levi. This is 49:5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty is in their habitation. O my soul, come not thou into their secrets, into their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down the wall. Yeah, and they did that because I think a Canaanite had slept with their sister. They had raped their sister. And Simeon and Levi made the man they wanted to be with their sister. He made him get circumcised, and I think in the whole village, I believe. And when they was doing so, they came and killed all the men. So the Most High set that curse up upon them. And when it says instruments of cruelty is in their hand, the Levites, they got they real heavy into their voodoo, the dark magic on the left hand side. That's where they get their power from. Over there doing all type of rituals, killing people, all type of stuff on their land. And the Simeon, they have Centeria, I believe that's how you say it, Centeria in Brujeria, if I'm saying that right. Worshiping, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, false gods and stuff over there, calling on a higher power, but on the left hand side. And most of the times they pray after Satan, but they hide it behind. They hide it by putting images of saints in front of them, and that would be their secrets when he said, "Don't where was it? Come not into their secrets." That is their secrets. It may look like they praying to the Heavenly Father with them white saints and all the other stuff over there, but in all reality, they praying to the spiritual demon Satan. Let me see. When it's saying to their assembly, they have gatherings in their churches and have old women, they be in there smoking cigars, wearing Gadite head dresses and all types of things of that nature. They even take goats and slaughter them, or chickens and pull their head off, which goes back to an old custom of the Levites. In Leviticus, the 1st chapter, the 14th through 17th verse, where they would take a chicken and wring his head off or pull his head off, and things of that nature. You can read that in Leviticus 1, the 14th, Leviticus, the 1st chapter, 14th verse through the 17th. And when it says, be not thou united, it's because Levi and Simeon live on the same island, but they hate each other. They can't even get along on their island. I think one speak Creole and one speak French. That's how it's divided over there, and this is all prophecy. And they all on the same island. Now it says, cursed be their anger, for it was fierce. Their wrath, it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. And what he mean by that is back in the ancient world, the Levites didn't have a homeland. They were scattered throughout all the 12 tribes because they was the high priest. I think Levi mean joined to me, if I'm not mistaken. Let me get my notes. Yeah, Levi mean joined to me, or joined to the Most High. And they joined the Israelites to the Most High by making sure we kept the law, statutes, and the commandments that we were supposed to keep in the nation. And that's what the paying tithes going to. You got these dumb pastors in these Christian churches talking about paying tithes. No, tithes are supposed to be getting paid to the Levites because they didn't have their own land and their own resources. They had to be scattered. They had to be scattered around the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel to fulfill prophecy. Everything is about fulfilling prophecy and the betterment of our nation. Now, I'll get into it. Judah, which would be the so-called Negroes. Oh, Simeon. I told y'all about Simeon and Levi. Let me show you Simeon and Levi real quick. Simeon would be the Dominicans. And then Levi would be the Haitians. Levi. No, the Haitians. They had the Haiti Revolution, where they had defeated them. Yeah, those Spaniards that tried to come over there and colonize their land. It didn't work because they had voodoo and all this spiritual witchcraft like I was getting into earlier. They had to get into that. Now Judah, you see, Judah would be the so-called Negroes today, which would be the same tribe that our Lord and Savior come from, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. He would be a so-called Negro today, a black man, and he came from the tribe of Judah. Now, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Yeah, and what that goes into is say that his hands will be on the neck of thine enemies, which means Judah will be primarily located in North America. In the middle of Babylon the Great, and eventually we're gonna take vengeance on Esau, Edom, when the Most High, when it's that time when the Most High give his elected men spiritual power, to go out there and do his will on the earth. Now, when it says, thy father's children, let me go back and read it. Judah, thou art whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be on the neck of thine enemies. Like I say, because we're going to be primarily located in Babylon the Great, in America, where the Edomites dwell, which will be our number one enemy. You can read that in Psalms, where is it? Psalms. All right. Tabernacle. I forgot what it was. I forgot what Psalms it was. It said the Tabernacle of Edom. Let me get that. Tabernacle, Edom. We gonna see. Edom, Moab. This is Psalms. Bingo. Psalms the 83rd chapter. This tells us who our enemies will be. In the very first one, you start at Psalms 83 from the start of 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. When they do that by TV, the books they put out, whitewashing history, iconoclasm, all type of wicked stuff these Edomites did to knock us off our path to finding this truth of who we really are as a people. That's why the Most High said in Deuteronomy that he was going to put chains upon our neck until they destroyed thee. And they didn't take them chains off until they destroyed us mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now, our mind is in slavery. Now, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate. Key word, they are confederate against thee. In the very first one, the tabernacle of Edom and Ishmael of Moab. Of Ishmael and Moab, I don't know why they say it, but yeah. The first one is the tabernacle of Edom. Now, let me get back to Genesis, the 49th chapter. Let me go back to verse 8. Judah, thou whom thy brethren shall praise, thy hand shall be on the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. And that pretty much goes to what the Most High said he was going to raise the tents of Judah first, so the rest of the house of Israel don't boast up against it, because Judah came out with this truth of who he is. Slacky. Yeah, Judah pretty much brought out this truth of we the real Jews and who the Israelites were today by a man of Abba Bivens in the late 60s, early 70s. And he was out there feeding the people knowledge. And that's when the Most High, which goes into the prophecy of, what is that? Which goes into this right here. Yeah, Malachi 4:5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming and great dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the fathers. Meaning we was going to wake back up through Abba Bivens, which through the Spirit, the elders and apostles of the GMS, and us believe that that's Elijah, the prophet, coming back, or John the Baptist. At least I come and smite the earth with a curse. And curse right here means something pointing to utter destruction. Yeah, the third one, have been utterly destroyed, appointed to utter destruction, which would be Babylon the Great. And that's what it mean by thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Most I said he was gonna raise the tents of Judah first. And like I said before I started, the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, he had came from the tribe of Judah, a so-called black man. Let me read that all throughout the scriptures. Now, you can get into the next one. Judah. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. Which means we forgot we had enemies. You know, back in the 60s and the 70s, we had all type of, you know what I'm saying, black power movements. The, you know what I'm saying, Malcolm X and them out there, Martin Luther King, I guess, you know, the Black Panthers, Black Stone Rangers and stuff like, and things of that nature. We was always fighting back. We always tried to keep our foot on the neck of our enemies, even in that time, or the civil rights movements and stuff and things of that nature. But then eventually, the white man they gave people jobs. They gave people health care, food stamps, things of that nature. Now everybody comfortable in America. We forgot we had an enemy. That's all they really mean right there. Which is sad. Because now you got all these people in the churches talking about something we should love our enemies, when the Most High said he hate them that hate us. And he hate Esau Edom with a perfect hatred. Let me read that all throughout the scriptures. Yeah. From the prey, thou art gone up. Yeah, because like I said, we forgot we had an enemy. And it says, he stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Yeah, and who rouse us up is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. When that time comes. Excuse me, this petition. Salaki. What was I? Oh yeah, who should rise him up? Yeah, Yahweh Shai. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver between his feet. Yeah, because that's where the lineage of kings come from, the tribe of Judah. You know, from David to Solomon. You know what I'm saying? Oh, even to Yahweh Shai. Which Yahweh Shai was Solomon. If you can receive it, he that have an ear, let him hear. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, the scepter shall not depart from Genesis 49:10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, which is Yahushua. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Yeah, because we were scattered throughout all the four corners of the earth, which goes back to Deuteronomy, where the Most High said he would scatter us. Scatter us as a curse. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. Yeah, because the Most High, not the Most High, Yahushua, he drank a lot of wine. They called him a wine bibber. A wine bibber back in the day. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. That's why you go into the description. To the description of the Lord, they say he had like flaming red eyes, and he was angry and full of wine. I suppose. And his teeth white with milk. What was that? Let me see if I can get it. Jim Crow. The blackface. See? Stuff like this. They was trying to be funny by painting people all black with extra big red lips. But then again, they'll show you that they got that we got, you know what I'm saying? That we always had white teeth. Bright white teeth at that. Now, Zebulon. Zebulon would be, did y'all see it? Right here. Guatemalans to Panama, the Panamanians. We have the tribe of Zebulon. Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Yeah, because Zebulon is the Mayans, and they dwelled at the. What do you mean by dwell at the haven of the sea? Is the Panama Canal. That's why I said that they would be they should be for a haven of ships, because they was near the water. And when we say the borders unto Zidon, that's the Omlik heads that that King Solomon navy, along with the navy of Hiram left in Central America as landmarks for when they sailed back to the Americas for resources. You know, America always had, you know what I'm saying, trees, exotic animals of some sort. You know, there's a lot of resources over here before Esau Edom came over here and destroyed the land and stole it from our brothers and killed off all of them. But that's why the Most High say a land cannot be cleansed of blood unless the blood is shed of him who has spilled the blood, which would be Esau Edom. So everything gonna have to get paid back. Let me go back to that. Let me look up that scripture. That's why before I butcher it. Me one moment. You know, I don't know scriptures off the top of my head like that, but I'm learning. Oh, boom, Numbers 35 and 33. So you should not pollute the land wherein let me read that again. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, which would be Esau Edom. Came over here, raped, robbed, and pillaged the Black Hispanics and Native Americans over here on this side of the world. So it's only right that the Most High give vengeance unto and pay back in vengeance or in blood to these Edomites. That's why the Most High said he prepared them unto blood, since thou hast not hated blood shall pursue them. Because they just wicked. And they like killing, apparently. One of the Rothschilds even said that it's best to buy when blood is running in the streets. Because the Rothschilds pretty much start every single war. It's all about gain and benefit, about money. That's why the love of money is the root of all evil. And the Most High had to come and get these gutter rats from ruling over us. Now, let me get back into these scriptures. Where was I? 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be into Zidon. Yeah, I just broke that down. Now I'm going to go to 14. Issachar will be the so-called Mexicans today. As you can see on the sun. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens. Yeah, the two burdens would be North America and Central America, because Mexico is right in between both of them. You see, and he saw that the rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, which would be Mexico, and bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. You know, say he became a servant unto tribute, meaning they became slaves to the Spaniards. When the Spaniards had came, and as you can see now today, the Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, the tribe of Issachar, they like one of the most hardworking people. Anywhere you go, construction, like when you got like hands-on labor, or even shops. Even cook, like the last job I had, we was in there cooking. It was a number cooking and washing dishes. It was a number the chopper Issachar and them. Barely speak a lick of English, but they in there working hard. So I put in 2 shifts. One job, we working at Hooters. Get off that one, walk to the next one, just to make a living over here in America. Well, I say Issachar is a strong ass, as you can see. 2 birds, and he saw that the rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant of the tribute. Dan, they say Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and adder in the path that biteth the horse heels, so that his riders shall fall backwards. Yeah, and that was one of their war tactics back in the day. In the tribe of Dan, the tribe of Dan is no longer around because they mingled with the rest of the northern tribes. I have waited for my salvation, O Lord. Now, Gad would be the Native Americans. That's what you got them talking about, the ones who occupied this land before Esau, Edom came and destroyed it. Gad, a troop shall overcome him. Yeah, and the troop did overcome him, which would be the U.S. cavalry. When they came and took him down when they was trying to fight. But they couldn't hold him up because it was, as they want to say, the manifest destiny or God's will. And it's going to be God's will when we take them down and put them in chains too. But he shall overcome at the last. Yeah, because he was going to wake up to this truth and find out who he is after they done took it and beat it out of him. Now, out of Asher, his bread shall be fat. We're going to get into Asher right now. Asher would be top right. Colombians to Uruguay. That would be the tribe of Asher. Oh, Slovakia. Hate when you do that. Bingo. Out of Asher, his bread should be fed, and he shall yield royal dainties. Yeah, what do you mean by his bread should be fed? That's speaking about the food that they eat and also their natural resources, because the land that they dwell in is good and full of natural resources, exotic animals, spices, and herbs, which is in South America. And when it's about some royal dainties, all you gotta do is look up Brazilian delicacies. They good bakers. They always eat good, Brazilian delicacy. I spelled it all the way wrong. True, yeah. But see, as you see, they will be good bakers. I was happy. Slovakia. Yeah, it does. But as you see, they eat real good out there. Cook good, eat good, yo. Travel, that's the Israelites. Can't no other nation cook better than us. I'll tell you that right now. Now, Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Yeah, Naphtali is a hind let loose. That refers to they are also nomadic and moving, because they are also nomadic and they move around a lot. Because they had to over here in this land. Which kind of goes into like the one of our customs of the land said, you have land. You have a land, you till the land, you plant seeds, you give it all you can get. And like in 6 years, in the 7th year, you leave that land so the land can heal on its own. And you know what I'm saying, refurbish, but you always left a little for the for homeless people. Or the less fortunate, should I say. Now let's see. Who we got next? Naphtali is a hand loose. He give it goodly words. Yeah, and what do you mean by he give it goodly words is they tried to be peaceful with the Spaniards. And then the niggas was so who was it? Yeah, the Spaniards. The Spaniards are so wicked. They was like, these people are so nice, we have no choice but to enslave them. Now how wicked could you be for that thought process to even pop up in your mind? Somebody is so nice that you would have to put them in slavery. Come on now. Because they just felt like it was going to be easy. But it's okay though. It was all a part of the Most High plan. And we will eventually get our payback. Times 10. Every single nation. Joseph is a fruitful bow. Joseph is synonymous with Ephraim. Excuse me. Manasseh and Ephraim. It's lucky. You can go to Genesis, the 48th chapter. You can read from verse 8 to 20. Both Manasseh and Ephraim are under the same curses and blessings. You can go read that in the scriptures. Matter of fact, let me get it. Genesis the 38. I'm tripping. Genesis 48. Genesis 48. Chapter behind. To 8 through 20. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons, and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom Yahweh hath given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, because he was getting old, so he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, Yahweh hath shewed me also thy seeds. Yep, and that's a man's crown to see your children's children. Verse 12, and Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand, towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand, towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, Yahweh, before whom my fathers Abraham, Isaac did walk, the power which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the sea, in the midst of the earth, Salakia. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. Yeah, because Ephraim was the youngest. And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head and to Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father, Salaki, I can't stand this thing. And his father, verse 19, and his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people. And what do you mean by that? That don't mean he's gonna have a bunch of different nations come out of one nation. No, he's gonna have so many people or so many children that they will be their own nation. And he also shall be great, but truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. Yeah, because there's gonna be so many of them. That don't actually mean there's gonna be different nations coming out of them. No, they still go back to the same tribe. And he blessed them that day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless, saying, Yahweh make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And he said that there's gonna be the younger shall be greater. Cause Ephraim is all over the place when it comes to music, sports, entertainment, and like I said, they children. Ephraim in Canada, New York, Chicago, down here in Texas, down south. You know what I'm saying? They everywhere. And Manessa is really on. No, Manessa really only known for boxing and things of that nature. But Ephraim been around, been world champs, like national singers and dancers, all type. Know what I'm saying? All type of thing. You can tell who are the most blessed out of the two. Like I say, when it said a multitude of nations, that don't mean there's gonna be a lot of other nations that will come out and stem from Ephraim. That just means there's gonna be many people. Ephraim is so big, it's like they're it'll be like they're a bunch of nations, but it's only one people. Now let's go back to what we was at 49. Where we left off. Joseph. Left off of Joseph. Zebulon, Dan, Joseph. Verse 23. No, I'm starting at 22. Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. Because there's going to have a lot of children, as I said. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. And what it said about the archers, that's the Spaniards that came to the islands of Puerto Rico and Cuba, who was trying to take over and colonize their land. Because we all know Puerto Rico, what they call it, port of riches. So we try to tell the Puerto Ricans that a Puerto Rican is not even a nationality. They're trying to be funny. They told them they're a port of riches because they came and spoiled everything that they had. They came and took it. And they say, 24, but his bow abode his strength, meaning that they kept having children and Esau couldn't exterminate them how they wanted to because they wanted to kill them off completely and take over the land, but they couldn't because there was so many of them. And the arms of his head were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob, which would be Yahweh. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy fathers, whom shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast and of the womb. Verse 26. The blessing of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bounds of the everlasting hills, that shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Now I'm going to get into 27, verse 27. Benjamin will be the West Indians, as you can see on this sign. That's the West Indians. It say, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. And the word raven was something like, you know what I'm saying? That's raven, I think you go to the word raven with the eyes, or still means like to tear or devour your prey, to pull the flesh off the bones and things of that nature. But in this case, when it says Benjamin shall raven as a wolf, that means that they were imitative of harsh sounds, meaning that they will create songs, poems, and speeches on the subject of Babylon, which is America, which will fall, or must fall. It also creates songs praising the Most High, other songs talking about the children of Israel, Zion, you know what I'm saying, Zion train and things of that nature. So it was a spiritual thing before, rap came and destroyed everything. And when you talk about the shoulders, you can go back into Deuteronomy 33 and 12, and then skip down to verse 27. It's about the shoulders. That is talking about Yahweh would take care of them. That's why he called them his beloved. Esau can't take them down because Yahweh was with them. Esau tried to colonize their land, and it wasn't gonna happen like that. And it say, in the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoils. And that's exactly what they're gonna do when the Most High give us that spiritual power. We're gonna take back everything that they took from us. We're gonna spoil them that spoiled us. And it say, and these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and these is it, that their father spake unto them and blessed them, every one according to his blessing. He blessed them. See? And that's exactly, yeah. And that's how you pretty much break down the 12 tribes of Israel. Everything is prophecy. We didn't make up this 12 tribes chart up the top of our head. We had men, the most I put the spirit on, I believe, if it wasn't our business that made this sign, it was High Priest Ariel, I believe. So when the most I put the spirit on to create this sign. And to show us who we was at the people, which goes into prophecy of the 2 sticks. 2 sticks. Let me get that real quick before we close. Ezekiel 37, around 19. Let's get into that real quick before we close. Again, so I kept this video real long. It's my first one. I'm trying to get into the spirit of making these videos to feed and edify the hopeful elect out there in the 4 corners of the earth. But right now, what did it say? 39? No, 37. And 19. As you see, the vision of the valley of dry bones, the valley would be America. The dry bones would be us because we forgot who we was as a people. We're going to start right here, see the reunion of Judah and Israel. Now, it say, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee 1 stick and write it upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. When it say Judah, it's about the north. Judah and Israel, the northern and southern kingdom was split after King Solomon died with Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Rehoboam took the southern kingdom, and Jeroboam took the northern kingdom. And let me see, what was I? Oh, then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, which would be the southern kingdom. Verse 17, and join them one to another into 1 stick, and they shall become one in thy hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by this? Which is when the elders and apostles and the brothers of GMS, they be out there on the street corners preaching and teaching the word. They was talking about, you know what I'm saying, people to walk by. If they're not even hearing what you're saying, they'll see it from across the street, they'll see the sign. And that'll be you know what I'm saying, that'll be an eye catcher, something that can start a conversation for you to plant that seed. If they believe, if the Most High wants them to believe, should I say. In verse 19, saying to them, Thus saith the Lord God, Yahweh, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, which should be the northern kingdom, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and make them 1 stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the stick whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before their eyes. And saying to them, Thus saith the Lord God Jehovah, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen. See, I will take the children of Israel from amongst the heathen. Everybody not getting saved. Whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side, because we will scatter them to the 4 corners of the earth and bring them into their own land. Yeah, the Most High is all about separation, the separatists. The Most High is a racist for the Israelites, meaning you strongly support your nation, and your nation only. What a racist is. You prefer your race. And saying to them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them 1 nation in the land upon the mountain of Israel, and 1 king shall be king to them all, which will be King David. And they shall do no more, and they shall be no more 2 nations, neither shall they be divided into 2 kingdoms anymore at all. Yeah, because the Most High is bringing us back in these last times, in these last days. Before as I got into it, right here, Malachi 4, 5, and 6. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming and great dreadful day of the Lord. And he should turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fatherless. I come and smite the earth with a curse. And that's why the Most High is making put the Spirit out here in the world. It's stone with the elders and apostles that came out of one ways. But mostly I'm talking about the elders and apostles of GMS who continue to rule well and push this word, the 100% truth, in order for us to get salvation. The Most High put the Spirit out here to go ahead and gather his men to hopefully elect from the four corners of the earth by pushing this word on the street corners and on the internet, on this YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Push this word out. But yeah, that was the 12 Tribes chart. This is my first video. Hopefully y'all was edified. And shalom.